Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now, some of you who read my community posts will know what I'm about to explain. That is to say this, the minimum RC Savannah jet is going to be no more. I'm going to pull it all apart and put all the equipment into a built up, tissue covered, traditionally built Vampire, originally designed for JetX and free flight. I'm going to make it ducted fan, EDF, that is, and radio controlled. So the model itself, let me point you down, you can have a look. Oh, it's quite big actually, isn't it? Hasn't got the wingspan on here anyway. It's about 26 inches, something like that, and not a huge amount of wing area more, so I'm hopeful that it's going to be okay. I'm going to make it ailerons and elevator. It's a twin boom model, so the elevator is going to be at the back. I'm going to have to change the design quite a lot because obviously I'm fitting EDF. I've just tested the equipment, ailerons, elevator, rudder, although I'm not using the rudder, and motor. Battery is nearly empty, so I'll switch that off. So that's all working, so I can now go ahead and dismantle it. I picked this one over the other minimum RC jet. I've got the Hawk. The Hawk is 1S, this is 2S, and I might end up needing the nose weight, so I'd sooner have a bigger battery. It's a 180 milliamp battery, but it's two of them linked together, so it's going to have a little bit more weight. Some might say it's a shame. Well, yes, it is a shame. It flies nicely, but this is so much more exciting. And to be honest with you, all along, this is why I accepted this model for review, because I had every intention of doing exactly this. So there's another sheet you can download from Outer Zone with all the ribs and formers on. They're quite clean scans, but not clean enough for a laser cutter, accurate enough I should say. So I spent a day cleaning it all up, and I've ended up with basically a kit of parts. Fast, so I've got two sheets there exactly the same, the fuselage sheet and another former, oops, and the booms. Don't worry, nothing's broken. The booms were originally, let's take them out now, shall we? The booms were originally on the plan 3/16. I'll get to dismantling that one in a minute. The booms were 3/16 with a piece of 1/16 between each piece to make them a bit fatter, but I thought that was way too heavy, so I've made them out of 3/32. I added a couple of little extra bits in for what I've seen, and we'll work the rest out as we go. Basically, the body is built up on this center part with the formers each side, and then bits fitted, stringers, etc. But it is currently I've just copied it for the JetX design. I'm going without undercarriage because I've got nowhere to take off from. This one. We're going to pull all this apart and end up with a box of electronics. Unfortunately, the cockpit's got a crack in it. It's actually only very thin. I was hoping I might have been able to use that, but it's incredibly thin plastic, and I think it landed upside down and broke, so I might use the pilot though. I printed him out. So without further ado, let's get going. The construction of this one is like all minimum RC models, built on a central plywood crutch. And in particular to this model, it's got a plastic nose cone which I won't be using. I did think though that maybe on this model, I saw one online, the guy had it might have been a Vampire actually, he had a removable nose where he could slide the battery in, or half the nose was removable, I think, so that's an option. So let's just destroy it. Right, I've got a connector there for the motor. Hopefully this will fit into the fuselage that I've got. If not, I shall have to modify it a little bit because this is fixed in its size. Okay. Yeah, I think that's just going to fit a treat, you know. It looks perfect. That's good. On this model, the aileron servo worked both ailerons, but these ailerons are going to be a long way out, so I shall fit these in the wings. So I've got two servos there for ailerons. There we are. Goodbye, Savannah. It was nice knowing you. Let's get these away. Out away. Oof, now, where do we begin? Well, I've started working out where things are going. So this is going to go there. So it looks a perfect width. It is. Oops, slightly wide. I think I can get it in. Battery, of course, will go in the nose. And then a servo, I'll just have some ailerons up at the tip here somewhere, maybe full span for the last three sections here. This is the center spine, so your formers go on each side and the top ones slot in vertically. There's plenty of room for the radio equipment. Might be worth putting a hatch in the bottom so as I can access it. I've only got the one servo because the push rod is going to have to come right out over the top. It's going to have to come all the way down the middle to the tailplane, which is down here. Long way down, isn't it? Get the boom piece. Yep. Tailplane's down here, so I have a push rod here going to the elevator. I can save weight by not having a rudder. Although it would be fun to work out a twin rudder system, but no, we're going to go without rudders. I think it's a great project. I can't wait to start gluing. Well, let's start then, shall we? Okay, Cliff, let's make a quick start. The morning is still early. Like it's only 7 AM, I think. It's a very clever design actually, because the air intakes are here, triangular shape, and there's these two big balsa pieces here, W1s, wing ribs, but they scoop the air in, so you're getting maximum amount of air in. Because my ducted fan is there, I might have to just block these two bits in, or put two little bits of paper just to bring it in, guide the air in. I think that'll be okay. Right, anyway, I need F1, F2, F3, F4. This is F1. Okay, where's all my Fs? There they are. Now I do expect this to be a little bit needing a little bit of fettling, because, as I say, the drawings weren't that accurate. F2, we go there, F3, and there. I didn't fancy cutting these out manually, to be honest, although I spent a day on the computer. I just didn't fancy it. Besides which, I do have another plan, and the plan is that I want to make a second model for Jetex radar control, so hence my reluctance to cut it out. I've just broken that. I printed two F8s out because one goes on the bottom, but I thought I might need another one further back, so I've just done a spare. So let's just glue that back on there a minute. And so it begins. I think before I put that one in, I'm going to cut a hole through the fuselage, then I can pass wires through if necessary. I'm going to cut it with this, just a piece of brass tube, slightly roughened up with, I've got some little serrations cut into it as well, just crudely with the hacksaw. There we go. Might be worth putting one in the front. There we go. Let's just put this in position a minute. That's handy, that goes right where that last former is. That is handy. I think maybe F8, this one here, is the correct width. I might end up taking this one out and putting an F8 in there, because in fact I've got a spare F8 that I was going to put on the bottom. Okay, now that go in there, and those little slots go in there. So let's put it back in, see what we've got. Just like that, and then that could fit. I'm going to leave this. This was the rudder or fin support on the other model, so leave it for the minute. That will go in there like that. I think until these stringers are on, it's going to be difficult to get an accurate idea of what's happening, but I think I could glue F8 in there now. Slightly further forward, maybe slightly back there where I'm gripping it. I'll cut a slot where my thumb is,
and then I can pack that out with another little bit of balsa on the top to hold that solid and glue it in around the top. And then I think we're there. I think that is mounted, guys. I'm quite pleased with that. That's a major step forward. So now I can get the stringers on, and I'm going to just tuck this inside there, stop it flopping about here. If F8 goes there, and then F9 goes to the other side. F8 will go in there. F9 goes in here. And I think it might be an idea to notch F9 so as it fits on the back there nicely. That's a very good idea, Cliff. Let's get the... I'm going to notch it there, there, about 3/32. All right, that's 2 in. I'll continue here, guys, and I'll come back to you when I've got a substantial amount in, and we take another look. Okay, little update, guys. I've got a few more of the stringers in. This is underneath. No, it's not. It's on top. This is underneath. I brought this down a little bit and extended it over the top to protect this because I didn't want to lose this bit here. In the end, I decided I'd leave it on. So that's protected. I might even be able to leave this entire area open. We'll see. So this bit here, where's my other one gone? Yeah, this bit here goes in there, but I don't want to fit it yet because I'm not sure if this would be better off attached to the wing. It might be better off attached to the wing and then glued on because I won't be able to tissue properly if I stick it on now. So anyway, that goes on there, which looks pretty cool. On that side, of course. Yeah, it goes on there, and they fold around like that. So they're ready to go on. Just got to finish the stringer in here, really. Not sure what I'm going to do about this bit. Let's just offer. Oh, I cut some more stringer out of a much harder piece of balsa as well. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. That one there. Let's try that one there. See, it does stick out. It will be below the wing. I might just. There's a nice. Well, it does bow out a long way. I was going to say there's a nice little tab here, which would be nice to sort of pick up, but it does bow out quite a bit. But you won't see that at all. It'll just be nicely bowed around, but it's going to be under the wing. So I think I might just leave that like that and bring it around. In fact, I will, and then I'll just put something in here to support it. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'll crack on with this, guys. I'll see you back very soon. Okay, that completes the stringers. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do about the hatch. That can wait, but the motor's in, solid. I'm really pleased with that. I'll put a ring on the back and that'll tidy all that up, give me something to finish the tissue out. And I can now look at the next part of the build, which could be the booms. Those blocks to go in and shape. Coming together quite quickly, really. There's plenty of room for radio equipment. If you look back at the radio equipment, only got to get one servo in there, which will go up the front somewhere, and the receiver and the ESC. The ESC might have to go further back to reach the motor wire. I might end up leaving the bottom section open to let plenty of air through, but there's also the air intakes feeding air through as well. So I might end up just putting a floor in here of possibly just paper, thin card, just to stop the air from going down and turbulating around here. I want a nice clear duct through. So there we are, one vampire fuselage. Now I'm going to have a look at the tailplane. I've got to cut an elevator into it. The booms, by the way, the booms, say the plan asks for 3/16 times 2 with a bit of 1/16 between the two to thicken them up. I think I could just go for 1/16, as they say, between the two, and that would be plenty thick enough and rounded up. I can use my scraps up on this. Have I got any scraps? Got some softer bits here. Cool. Okay, back soon. Just put one of the wings together and that went in really easily. I think I might have to tweak the spar positions. In fact, oh yeah, this spar is got a little crack in it to bring it down there. This is the opening for the air intake. So the air is going to be channeled from the V slot in here, and because the motor intake is about here, so I might end up putting something in here once I've off the wing up, see what's what, to guide it into the intake. The other thing I've done while you were away is just made up a tailplane and elevator, so that will work the elevator. Just got to angle it, etc. And I've also been busy, I've made up the booms, so that will go in there like that, curve around like that, and then the tailplane sits in there like that. That's glued in, and then the elevator moves between the two fins. So yeah, and then that will go on there over that rib. And if I ought to give that a little bit more of a, of course there'll be a spar in there, there'll be two spars in there, that should be okay. So yeah, it's coming together really quickly, quite pleased. Found a bit of trailing edge section there to make life easy for myself. Okay, back soon.